And
Morning, everyone. This is Brian West coming at you with some news for the entire year on BBC Channel 44. Before we start this newscast, I'd like to take a quick minute. Obviously, over the past year, our world has been at war with the fascist Nazi pigs. So now I'm here to tell you, during this World's Affair, a lot of this information that we will be talking about will be covering this war. Some of it is brutal and graphic. I highly advise that small children do not listen to this broadcast until sports and weather come up. With that being said, let's get on the news. Starting off on a good foot, Allied troops first set foot on Japanese territory February 2nd, 1944. Finally paying them back for, obviously, the catastrophe that happened December 7th, 1941. As FDR said it, a day that will live in infamy. On a slighter, happier note, February 4th, Einstein arrives at Princeton. The Einstein himself. May 3rd, #1 rated movie of the year is going my way. I actually have not seen that. For another interesting fact, March 23rd, sorry for butchering this man's name, Nicholas Alcemade falls 5,500 meters without a parachute and lives. Now, folks, I don't know about you, but 5,500 meters, for those of you who don't know, is bigger than 55 football fields in and of itself. That's a long fall. And the man lived. Just take a moment and just honor that man for a quick second. All right. As I told you before, this is where it starts getting a little bit more gruesome. June 6th, a day we will call as D-Day, happens. U.S. forces land on the European front to fight the Nazis hand in hand with other countries following alongside of us. Something popped up that day, though, June 6, 1944. A new unit called the Rangers that were introduced in 1942 have come up with their motto. I have a report that explains it all. June 6, 1944, assault on Dog White sector of Omaha Beach as part of the invasion. Brigadier General Norman Cota approached Major Max Schneider and asked the 5th Ranger asked, "What outfit is this?" Schneider answered. "5th Rangers, sir." Cota replied, "Well, if you're Rangers, lead the way. From now on, the Ranger motto, Rangers lead the way." Just a shout out to all the men and women fighting over there. God bless America. June 10th, World War II. In Greece, 218 men, women, and children are massacred by German troops. World War II again. June 19th, first day of the second battle of the Philippine Sea. U.S. naval forces defeat the Japanese fleet. June 20th, Nazis begin the mass extermination of Jews at Auschwitz. And that was an awful. Alright, skipping through most of this year, we're going to decide on December 15th. U.S. Congress, my apologies, gives General Eisenhower his 5th star. Hold on. Oops. Yes. Alright, folks, I'm getting live news right now. December 31st. Is that right? Well, 48 people just perished currently in a train accident in Ogden, Utah. One more second. More World War II news. Alright, folks. Apparently speaking, Hungary has joined the war for the Allies and declares war on Germany. Now, folks, that was your World Affair news. Now,
This is Morris bringing you the sports update live from the BBC News Network. Alright.
Dude, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? What are you doing here?
This is my set now. You're in the weather forecast.
Weather? What? Darn. Who even does the weather anyway? Really? What? The weather?
Okay, guys. Now back to the sports. On April 13th, Montreal Canadiens swept the Blackhawks in 4 games during the Stanley Cup. And And on June 6th, the baseball game cancels all the games to honor the D-Day invasion.
USA! 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 USA!
Get out of here! Take your helmet! Okay, now back from that interruption. On June 10th, Joe Nuxhall, age 15, was signed to the Cincinnati Reds as the youngest Major League Baseball player. Because of the World War II player shortage, coupled with his advanced development, he began to start on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. On June 26th, the tri-cornered baseball game was played at the Thane Polo grounds. 3 teams played that day: the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Yankees. They played a 9-inning game in front of 50,000 fans for bragging rights. But not only did they play for bragging rights, but they played to raise war effort money by selling $5.5 million in war bonds. The final score for that game was the Dodgers won by 5, Yankees had 1, Giants had 0. And now to the weather.
Oh, Jesus, it's raining! Ah! This is your 1944 weather update. Okay, hurricane hit New England and 398 died on September 14th. Then, on September 12th, before that, a hurricane killed 389 people in North Carolina. On September 7th, the strongest hurricane of the century hits in the Netherlands. And then on June 23rd, 4 tornadoes hit Appalachia and killed 153. My name is Bianca Bernal, and this is your 1944 Achievement Update. First, the Pulitzer Prize was awarded to Martin Flavin for his novel Journey in the Dark. November 9th, Red Cross won the Nobel Peace Prize. And on November 29th, the first surgery on a human to correct blue baby syndrome was performed by Alfred Belloc and Vivian Thomas. Blue baby syndrome is caused by nitrate contamination in groundwater, resulting in a decrease in oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin that results in death in babies. Also, the Nobel Peace Prize in Physiology and Medicine 1944 was awarded jointly to Joseph Erlanger and Herbert Spencer Gasser for their discoveries relating to highly differentiated functions of single nerve fibers.
Somebody's going to have a lot of sweeping up to do. Well, now that the war is over, the big job of cleaning up begins. And our bill for cleaning up is going to be pretty big. Because millions of our sons are still in uniform. And some of them, now occupying Germany, must stick around until the last German is educated in the ways of peace. More of our men will have the same job to do in Japan. Others will be brought home to get our gratitude and the benefits of the GI Bill of Rights. These men have rights too. The right to the best medical care and equipment money will buy. Think of the mustering out pay, hundreds of dollars per man, so he can get a new start and an education. Figure too the cost of providing the maximum number of jobs for both the veterans and the production line soldier. Well, they've done their job. Now let's finish ours. They want a war. Now we got to pay for it. And I'm sure that every good American will be glad to help foot the bill. We've never fallen down during any war loan, and now we're asked to buy victory bonds, to bring our men back home, for the termination of war contracts, to prevent inflation, and to provide for our own future. Men and women of the Home Front Army, this victory loan drive is our last chance to buy extra bonds.
I'm done.